Good morning, beautiful souls. A lot of people have been reaching out and asking, where the hell are you? Where the hell have you been? So I literally just did a beautiful, beautiful reading for a lady, a private client, and it kind of inspired me to jump on and give a bit of an explanation about what's going on in my life at the moment. I don't tend to share that. I share little snippets, obviously, when it comes to teaching others through the clarity of my own example when I'm doing readings and stuff like that. But a lot of people have noticed my absence, my energetic and emotional distance, my disconnect and all that. So I just wanted to quickly jump on and say, hey, I'm Dan. I'm part of the real world too. I may be psychic, but shit still happens to me too. So if you don't care to know, pop over to the next video. But for those who actually do care and have been wondering and have been curious, I too have been part of this massive awakening, this massive shift that's been happening for the collective consciousness that I've been talking about for the last few months. So just wanted to give you a quick update. I literally have just grabbed a cuppa and, you know, like I said, I just did a beautiful reading, and I think it's time that I come clean. Anyway, so basically, guys, as you know, a couple of weeks ago, I got really crook, got the dreaded C, if you know what I mean. So I have not been that physically unwell for a very long time. I was literally bedridden for like 2 or 3 days. My fevers got that bad that I was actually hallucinating to the point that I was saying random crap, and my son was laughing at me. He was literally laughing at me, and it's so funny because I could tell that I was talking about, I knew what I was talking about, but I didn't know what I was talking about. And now that I look back, it was like everything that I've been holding on to that I didn't realize I was holding on to, it was coming to the surface and it was literally coming out. So it was really, really weird experience. Obviously, I believe that whatever this is really drew attention to those parts of your physical self that, you know, that have been neglected as much as, yeah, whatever. But yeah, it was just a real surreal experience for me. And it was a real eye-opener to how I live my life and how I conduct my life and all that sort of stuff. So I've really, really taken a step back from everybody. For those who have been ringing, texting, and I have basically been ignoring you, you'll know who you are. It's nothing personal. I do have a healthy and an unhealthy behavioral pattern that when I get overwhelmed in that, I just really ignore everybody. And I just can't take on more than I can chew, so to speak. It was really, really amplified when I did lose my brother, 2 years ago now. So when it comes to grief and overwhelm and adrenal fatigue and all those things that come as a byproduct of life experiences and stuff, you do get to the point that when little things happen to you, it can really overwhelm you. So if that's someone and you experience the same type of thing, please know it's naturally normal and it does get better in time. It really does, especially if you honor yourself first and foremost. But for those who may feel like I've been neglecting them or I've been ignoring them or that they're not important to me or anything like that, it's not been that at all. It's been the fact that I literally had to make the choice to honor myself first and foremost and really exclude myself from external influences so I wasn't overwhelmed by trying to help others when I was trying to help myself. So I go through patches, and we all do. You know, I jump on, I across many, many platforms trying to help people move forward. Those who watched my collective reading on Sunday probably would have seen and felt that frustration and annoyance that I was feeling. And when I sort of got a bit of feedback from that and I looked back and I reflected, yes, I am very frustrated and whatnot, but I had to give myself an uppercut. I literally had to give myself an uppercut and take ownership of why I was feeling that discord, why I was projecting that out. Basically, I had to practice what I preach and take ownership and acknowledgement. And I'm a firm believer that everyone should do that. It is very healthy. It doesn't make anyone right or wrong or anything like that. But I believe everything that you're experiencing in your life is a complete byproduct of what you're thinking and what you're feeling. So it's a bit difficult for me because when I do jump on and do the videos and do readings and tap into that collective energy and stuff, It is light, bright, bubbly, all that sort of stuff, and it's a very addictive energy. But obviously when you come down from that cloud and you got to go back to your normal everyday routine, with the people, places, things and everything in it, it's a real strong energy that you've got to manage and maintain at all times. And what I realized and took acknowledgement of is the fact that I wasn't taking enough time to manage that energy and those shifts myself. So that's what I've been doing over the last probably 3 weeks. I literally, in the last week, because the collective energies have got a little bit lighter with all the shifts and the planetary alignments and all that sort of stuff, it's made it a little bit easier. I feel like I can actually take a breath or whatever, but I cannot emphasize the importance at the moment to step back and do this type of energy work, especially if you are a light worker or a healer of that sort. Another thing I took ownership of is the fact that I literally was complaining, whinging, bitching, getting frustrated about things and others, that the reason why I was doing that is because I was frustrated with myself because I wasn't doing it myself. You know, I always go on about, you know, your daily practices and all that sort of stuff. But when I got crook, obviously, the best way I can explain it is that in the months leading up to my illness, I literally really got in my own energetic momentum. I was doing my daily practices. Everything started working out for me. I literally had, most of my work comes from word of mouth, but I literally had one lady who found me on Google and did a bit of research. And as soon as I read for her, she told all her friends and family, and God bless their cotton socks, they all booked in. And for the first time in my life, or in my working career, so to speak, since picking this up after losing my loved ones, I was literally booked out for the week. And we're talking back-to-back readings and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, I just don't do that. I do posts and stuff for my Patreon community, and I also do the stuff over on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, and I was doing all this stuff, and I just was doing way too much, and I think that's why my physical self got so burnt out. And I obviously have an autoimmune disease as well, so I've been trying to manage that as well. It's just been hard to keep the momentum going, and then obviously I've got the momentum of my work and my business and everything else going, and I'm getting the clients and new clients and people waking up and wanting to know what Dan had to say and all this sort of stuff. And then bam, I was out cold. Like I couldn't do anything. And that's the first time in my life where I couldn't not even get out of bed. So that was a bit of a wake up call for me. And that's what I've been doing over the last 2 to 3 weeks. When I get like this myself, and I think it's quite healthy to do. So if you're someone that does this, you got to be careful. It's not a big part of disassociation and all that sort of stuff. But I really need to go hermit. I can't have any external influences going on, because a lot of people may not realize that I do have a lot of people that do message me and inbox me and say, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, I'm learning this, I'm learning that. And I love hearing about everyone's stories and everything, but I just couldn't be that soundboard for anybody, especially, and this may go on for another week or two, I don't know. But yeah, I've really had to take a step back and start practicing what I preach, and I had to give myself an uppercut. So I took ownership of my BS. I apologize for anyone where I may have come across a little bit more harsher or what's the word for it? Reactive. I found myself getting really reactive. That was all just coming from a space that Spirit asked me to work on myself and transmute and all that. But I love and I wasn't doing it. So that it got me physically. That's what basically happened. So yeah, so for everybody once again who does come and watch and because I've had a lot of people reach out over the last 2 weeks saying, you know, I miss your daily guidance over on Facebook, and I miss this and I miss that. I can't do that at the moment. I just chose not to do it because I'm not doing it from a space that's right within me. I'm doing it to keep my business running. I'm doing it to keep you happy. I'm doing it to, you know, help support everybody else and all that, but it's not the reason why you should do anything in this life. So that's why there's been no posts over on Facebook and stuff like that. I've really been honoring that time and energy and focus and been putting it back on myself, so I can tap back into myself and restructure the daily practices and guidance and all that I need to do for myself. So thank you to everyone who does understand. But I really praise myself for teaching through the clarity of my own example. And I praise myself in my beautiful connection with Spirit. I firmly believe in the guidance they give us and, you know, everything that they tell us to do, but I wasn't honoring that myself. So, yeah, so that's where I've been. And, you know, I live a very spirit-led lifestyle. And for the empaths that are out there like me, as you know, so many people had such a mental health shift over the last week or two as well. So as an empath, you know, you feel that, you see that. I had immediate loved ones go through quite a big battle, and to see that and to experience that and to see the lack of support and help. I know that a lot of them rang these hotlines, and that was really, really good, and it helped them in that moment. But the lack of support that's out there, I just got overwhelmed. I get very frustrated. I believe there's a solution to every man-made problem, but I've got to learn that I can't be that solution for everybody, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's where I've been. So I basically busted myself. I basically had to put my hand up and say, guilty, Your Honor, guilty. Everything that I was complaining about or had a bad attitude about, you know, but what it was is that it was me being annoyed and agitated at myself because I know better and I usually do better. And yeah, big lessons. So yeah. So, but I want to thank everybody that did help me during that time. I'm feeling like I'm getting back into the swing of things. But one thing to know about me now is that I got to do me first. As much as I love you all. So if you do inbox me or leave a kind message or give me a nice donation and all that sort of stuff, I'm not purposely ignoring you. It's not personal. It's just the fact that I've got to do me for a little while. And like even my abilities, like my mediumship wants to take off, but I've got this story going on in myself. I don't have the time. I haven't got the resources. I haven't got that. And I don't think that way. And then I give, oh my God, it's that energy. And you probably know what it's like. You're probably doing it yourself. So I'm honoring myself right now. I believe that everything in the material world is a complete byproduct of the way that you think and feel. So if I'm not posting much or the things that I am posting aren't relevant to you, then that's okay as well. That's okay. I don't know why I felt like I had to do this video. I felt like I probably had to come in defense in some way. It's probably a reactive mode still. I don't know. But yeah, it's not until you go through something yourself that you realize how many people are dependent on you and codependent on you and rely on you. And, you know, and then it's sad on the other end to think that, you know, they believe or feel that I'm all they've got. You know, and that's a lot of pressure for a person. A lot of people put me on this pedestal, and it's a very high pedestal to be on sometimes. But I'd love to be everything for everybody at the time when they need it, but I just can't. And I've reached a level of my own perspective now too that I can't do the waffle talk anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, and that's why I was hesitating to do this video. But I thought I'd just do it and let it come out raw as it is, and in the thought processes of it all and stuff. But I just can't do waffle anymore. I can't do lame shit. I just can't. I'm a spiritual based practitioner. I work with spirit, but when it comes to all the other lingos and talks and gimmicks and all that sort of stuff, I just can't get into that anymore. And when someone tries to talk to me about it, I just shut down. And I hate people thinking that I don't care. It's just not that I'm not caring. It's just that that's not where I'm at. And so I have to take the time to sort that shit out for myself. I really do. But yeah, so I hope you guys understand. You know, I'm working through my own resistance. But the most important thing is at the end of the day that we all at the moment take the time to do a bit of self-reflection, take a bit of ownership, find skills and ways and means to transmute whatever's going on within us, and try to limit the amount of external influence that you have in your life. Because the answers you do need really do lay within you. They really do. But unless you give yourself that time and that hope and trust that the universe will have your back in the meantime. Holiday jumped out. Unless you do that for yourself, you're going to continue on this merry-go-round type energy, and the energy is just not conducive for that anymore. We need to grow and we need to expand, and we are. So it's about being a willing participant, and it is flying out. Be a willing participant in our life. So I don't know if that made any sense, guys. Just scroll on if it hasn't. But I just wanted to give you a perspective of where I'm at. I'm doing a lot of changes to my health, first and foremost. So what I might do from now on, and I don't know whether this interests you, because as soon as I say this is what I'm going to do, and Spirit are going, yes, do that, I feel like no one will be interested in hearing about it. I don't know why. That's what I'm working out at the moment. But got to practice what I preach, eh? Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I am going to pull out some fairy cards for us. I have formed a really close attachment to these cards and the messages through Spirit with these. So to wrap up my ramblings, just to give you a little bit of a heads up that I am becoming a bit of a lone ranger at the moment. We're going to ask Spirit to give us 3 cards to get us through to Sunday till the collective reading. Look at that. We got connect with nature. So this weekend, you guys, if you can, leading up to Sunday's collective reading, if you can spend some time going and connecting with nature, go sit out in the grass, go for a walk on the beach if you live close by, go to a waterfall if you can. If not, just get outside. Get outside. Get out from behind the desk. Get out from inside your head. Go and connect with nature. Do some drumming. Bring some, just put on some background nature sounds maybe while you're cleaning the house or doing whatever you're doing. But please start connecting with nature, because there's a lot more answers in nature at the moment than we realize. We also got new career. So me myself, I'm focusing more so on tapping more back into my spirit-led type business, rather than me just planning out posts and posting stuff to please others, so to speak. So if you are wanting to start your own career, spend some time and invest your time and focus and energy on doing that in an alignment sense, in a law of attraction sense, rather than a desperation point of view. And we've also got love life. So some of you might get lucky over the next couple of days. So, you've got to love yourself first and foremost before you can even allow any type of love into your life. But if you are wanting to branch out and reach out and be amongst people and be a bit more social and stuff, then you are being more than encouraged to do that as well. So you may either need to connect with nature, you may need to focus on your career a little bit more and aligning with it on a more of a spirit-led basis, and or love. It's about loving everybody where they are right now, loving yourself enough to do what's right for you, hence me jumping on and doing my thing and explaining my circumstances. But yeah, some people's romantic love lives may be taking off soon. So anyway, if you see this, if I choose to post this, thanks for listening and thanks for watching. Where we go from here, I don't know. You'll just have to love and like all my platforms, and I'm just going to pop up where I feel personally aligned to do so. All right, you guys. So thanks so much for watching. I will see you all again on Sunday, and I hope you have the most amazing weekend ever. So much love to you. Have fun. Bye.